What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at Sanchez 95. It is a bit of a shame because he does have a, a fantasy foot, which is a 93 due to the upgrades. That's coming in at 388,000 coins, but we've now got a 95. 1.7 mil at the moment, can be a striker or centre forward like the other, still the same 4-star, and in terms of the upgrade, it's 2s on everything. But the big thing is 99 dribbling, which is very nice. Great shooting throughout, to be honest. The positioning's nearly maxed out. Obviously acceleration, finishing, shot power, all looking very polished and very clean. Finesse, flaring outside of the foot as the traits. We're going to ignore the injury prone because most definitely this card is, it can play anywhere. Cam, centre forward, striker, left wing, right wing. Because he's got so many attributes, you could utilise him in a lot of game styles that you do play. I think if you are more of a kind of bully striker, a Haaland, an Isaac, somebody a bit more taller with pace, but as well really good strength, naturally good strength, then yes, he's going to be a perfect winger for you, and you'd have to change it in game. But naturally this card was really good as a fantasy foot, so I'm interested to see what the 95 can do. Let's jump in and see if we're going to link him with Payet later on in the season. Are you tired of using players like this? I would much rather have teams more like this. Then I recommend going over to skycoach.gg for all of your coaching and coins needs. They are cheap, fast and reliable, but at the checkout make sure you are using code JT11 for a discount on your orders. Back to the video. He's already looking for it over the top. Doesn't find it. Very weird animation there. Obviously, like I say, in terms of strength, he's just not, even though he's got 87 on the base, it's not going to feel that. What I am expecting is some great acceleration from the card. Ooh, Saliba putting his back end out. Looking for that 1-2 from Fabian. This is it. Going across. Can we go across goal with this one? Nearly going for it. And this is why with Sanchez, especially if you are utilising him as a striker, I personally would not go down the centre. You want this run in a second instead, just here. That's the run you want every single time, because you start coming into the middle, and not that he can't do it, but it makes it just a little bit harder for him to get through all the defenders. Maldini, Virgil, Ramos, all of them are absolute giants. He's 5'6", and naturally just not going to be able to kind of cope with the size. Yes, you have got the left stick dribbling, which will get you halfway there, but in terms of just going down this side here, you've always got that shot across. 4-star weak foot should give you a good amount as well to go on the left. Obviously, if you wanted to cut across and go for the right foot, then that is possible as well. Ooh, nearly. But Saliba is a very, very good centre-back as well. Obviously, the fantasy foot, lovely upgraded card. And the same with a lot of centre-backs now. We've got some absolute corkers in the position now, which a lot of people have. There it is. Great in behind. It's got to be a cross goal this time. Right foot, and it's absolutely sweet. The only thing I think with a striker Sanchez, because it is very much maybe 1-2 dimensional sort of play, maybe you've got a little bit of left stick, you've got the wing sort of run off kind of like a left striker, you can do that too much, because realistically, how many times do you go through every single game? If you are doing almost the same run every kind of couple of chances, how on earth that's gone in? You are more than likely going to be caught a lot of the time. Like, you've got that skill, works a couple of times, but you start doing it all the time, you know that a good player is most definitely going to take that out, and he's just going to stop it every single time. So you want to be able to have a different sort of kind of attack most of the time with Sanchez. You want to come short, maybe pick the ball up, ping it out to the wing, again making these little runs here, try and ping them into him, and we can see it just there. Goes for the fake, does miss out. Oh, there he is, waiting, looking for the half spin. Are we going to get up there? Not before the keeper. The good thing with him though is counters should be absolutely perfect. A great through ball. Is the keeper coming out? Little tap. Beautiful. Thought I messed it up that time, but we got it. There it is again. Soon as you get the outside of him, yes, you've got him coming back on the defense, but you get so much option. Like here, one mistake, and every time it's going in. It's a simple pass across goal, and he's going to make him pay most of the time. And that sort of run is very hard to put out, because if you go and really, so for instance, if I go across here again, obviously I'm looking for that outside of the run. If you try and anticipate it, I go on the inside. So there is almost a run that is undefendable in terms of the actual run itself. Because, like here, you go on the inside, yes, you've got more defenders here, but you're just waiting for another striker to come across, and you can then move on from there. So it is all about smart runs rather than just trying to hit it and run with him. You want to make sure that he's running in the right spaces and hitting him at the right times, because you get him as soon as the defender can literally latch onto him. He's not going to be able to outstrength anybody that is of a 6'5" nature with 90 plus strength. It's just not happening. He's not that sort of striker. Haaland is your best bet if you want to go toe-to-toe with a Ramos or Virgil, whereas this guy is totally about playing that ball up, being able to get them through balls, and also just naturally bringing it forward here. Get them maybe the finesse, and it's an absolute peach for the hat-trick. And again, lovely little work off. I've pressed Y far too soon there. Try and go back to him. Oh, we managed to hold it really, really well. Can we find something wide? He's taking a little bit of time to get in on field. Manages to win it back. Little back heel to him. Can we get a little snap? Lovely little left stick. Can we get round him? That is nice play from him. Lovely. Across. Left foot. Fabian. Stunning dribbling. I think the only thing now that really is not necessarily the biggest problem with him, but is definitely what you'd have to consider if you're even thinking about purchasing Sanchez, is the price tag. At the minute, it's very early to say, because obviously he's literally only came out today, so I'm not expecting him to drop to his lowest point within 3-4 hours of coming out. But 1.7 at the moment is what we're going off. If he could, I'd have to drop him below $1 million. I think anything over $1 million, I would much rather go for an Mbappe. And yes, very, very boring, and I'm all about trying out new cards quite clearly, and really just trying to have a little bit more fun with the game other than using the same players every single week, week in, week out. But there comes a time where you've got to put a price tag on someone that is efficient for the price. And unfortunately, 1.7 for Sanchez. We'll have a look at the overall, but I can imagine there is a lot of players that you can get for that price tag that are most definitely incredible in every right. And again, fixing it up to him. Can we go for the over the top? Get a little volley on the go, and that concludes his fourth with an absolute stunning quadruple goals. So going into the overall for him then. So he was 1.715. He now is 1.7. So we're getting closer to the price. Like I say, in terms of the difference between this is why he's got to be under $1 million. Mainly, 376k, we're looking at +2s. The difference is so minimal. You will not be able to tell me that there is a massive difference between the two of them. So this is the problem with it. And obviously, sometimes if he was an 88 and he only went up to a 91, I'd be like, they could make him 94. They could make him 95 just to push him out a little bit more than what that previous rating was. When he's a 93, I'm not expecting a 98 Sanchez in Community Team of the Season. It never happens, it never will. So I can kind of see where they've gone with him. He's been voted, or he's in it at the very least, but he has got an exceptionally good card with the fantasy foot. Little bit of a recycled content would have been nice if they knew the voting, that this obviously could have been avoided. But again, I don't know how the licensing, how everything works when it comes to making Team of the Season Community. In terms of strikers at 1.7, this is the interesting part, because I can imagine there is a good variety of strikers. Obviously, you have your top elite everybody, but in terms of 1.7, if you are looking, you've got a Kylian Mbappe in form, you've got a base Eusebio, base R9, I can't believe base R9 is still 1.4. You've got King Kenny as a 5-star, impeccable, Di Natale, Del P, a mid Cruyff, Eto'o. There is a good amount of strikers. I think probably all of them names I would choose over Sanchez. It isn't necessarily down to Sanchez being terrible, but in terms of these strikers, they are tried and tested and are next level strikers. So he's got to be coming way under $1 million coins. I would say he's got to be in the base Cruyff sort of era. If he's just 800 to 900, I think I could live with that, because there's probably players like Stoichkov, Leao. I'd probably go with Sanchez now. Whereas I think when he's up here, he's just not in a category where I personally think he should belong in terms of price tags. He's a very good card, and obviously the chem style you're looking for is going to be a hunter. Yeah, probably about right, because passing's already incredible. Obviously, we just need to max out as much pace and shooting as possible, and a hunter would give you, if I can even find it, 98 pace, 97 shooting. Wow, a 97 cam, and like I say, if you are looking... In fact, down here, you're looking at 97, 97, 96, 97, 97. He can play all of them. He's quick enough for the wing. He's agile enough for the wing. He's got a great shot coming in as a striker. As a cam, again, he's going to be very nimble in that middle. He's got the pace to kind of push the ball forward, as well as the passing as well. Or even a false 9. Still going to do the same job. So I do think the big thing that he does provide is he's a massive versatility player, depending on what you want him for. The only thing is, you've got to have the formation that works for it, because obviously you will need to change him in game, as he can only be a striker or a centre forward, which most definitely I think a lot of people do nowadays anyway. There's centre mids that can play right wing that are incredible. There's right mids that can play left wing. There's so many different positions. You can easily work that into your team quite simply. But he is Ligue 1. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when Ligue 1 Team of the Season comes out as well. Plus, obviously, the next few Team of the Seasons to see how quickly does he drop from top to bot. But anyway, still a sensational card. The price needs to come down. He's definitely a 10 out of 10 striker. But I'd definitely say it needs to be under £1 million at the very minimum before you look at or even consider buying him. But check out the video on screen. Make sure you do like and subscribe. And I'll catch you all for the last review tonight.